Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, going to be a Carbot game between Violet and Bomber here on Destination. Top side of the map, it is the orange Protoss player Violet, and at the bottom side of the map, it is the pink, we'll call it pink Terran player Bomber. Holy smokes, man. It is Bomber, known by Fancy in his StarCraft days, and honestly a pretty good player. Did win a GSL Code A championship. Was that in StarCraft 2 though? I don't know, man. Apparently that is. He got started playing under the ID Fancy for Estro. He did end up doing some decent stuff here in the Brood Wars world, but what actually got him famous in StarCraft was StarCraft 2. So yeah, he won a GSL Code A championship, an MLG championship, and the WCS Season 2 championship after sweeping Jaedong in the finals back in 2000 and I want to say it was 2010, 2011, signing with StarTale back then. So, yeah, man, this is Bomber, also known as Fancy. I mean, I don't know what to do as far as naming him goes. It's is it Fancy because it's a Brood War game, or do I put Bomber in there? Do you Brood War fans know about his career in StarCraft 2 as Bomber? Because holy crap, he was really good. Like, really fantastically good at StarCraft 2. I mean, StarCraft 2 fans know him for sure. But it's just a matter of... is he the guy? It says under accomplishments on Team Liquid, he achieved A+ on IC Cup for 4 consecutive seasons. This is an IC Cup game, by the way, between Violet and Bomber here, so it should be a lot of fun. Violet, as we remember, unfortunately passed away to leukemia back in 2012. Lost another young player just in his prime. Really great Protoss player. Really would like to see what he was going to do with the rest of his career, but unfortunately he was taken from us too early, as people are. Hug your loved ones. Just another reminder from the StarCraft world, all right? All right. So PvT action here on Destination. Destination, probably the second most popular map that I'm casting right now. Lots of Fighting Spirit, lots of Destination, Circuit Breakers in there too. Got our little Penguin Ursidon here, which put him in the snow tile sets, Carbot. It's not too late to change that, right? You can just put the Penguin in the snow tile sets and bring another critter out here into this desert kind of savanna style setup that we've got. Anyway, probe down from Violet. Gonna try to sneak on down here and see what is going on, and there's honestly not much. It's not a one Rax expand. There's a factories coming up in here for Bomber. Probe just scouting around, does see the Marine, and a Zealot holding the line here too in case some Marine aggression is at hand, but no. At this stage, definitely not. We're going to continue producing Marines, that's fine, but also factory coming up behind this. Probe maybe trying to block off the attempt of an expansion. And so far, one base in it. Now, this is the 2009 game, so the meta is not quite what we expect it to be, what we compare it to here in 2019. Kakaru. That one makes sense. It just makes me so happy. He's a little fat, flappy bird. Flap, 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 flap. It's like a hummingbird, man, how fast he's flapping there. But Zealot, moving on down. He is on a mission. I just love the Zealots. I actually bought a Carbot t-shirt with the Zealot on it. My life for ire, it says. And he's jumping at you, like just charging at you. It's such a good shirt. If you want to see it, follow me on twitch.tv/FalconPaladin, where I am playing through the Carbot campaign for StarCraft 1 and Brood War. Every Sunday, guys. Just come hang out with me for a couple hours while I do this stuff. It's a lot of fun. Twitch.tv/FalconPaladin. Easy to find, too. Come say hello. I'll say hello to you back. Does that sound exciting? I hope that sounds exciting. Anyway, Singularity Charge almost done here for Violet. And, man, this is the pressure. He was expecting a natural base, I think, maybe, to try to shut down here. But, man, no. We're just one base in it at this stage. Bomber. It's got Marines. It's going to be hard to break this ramp with the Dragoon and the Zealot, so that's good. But at the same time, going down here is impossible for the Bomber too. So, building his command center on the high ground. He is making a tank to try to push out here and see what he can do about these two Dragoons and the Zealot. But Singularity Charge is almost done. That gives Dragoons very nice kiting range on these Marines. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but he's going to try. I feel like he's got to try here at some point. So, comes down, nicely done. The SCVs take a couple early shots there, but Marine down instantly. Another Marine taking shots. He dead too. Only 2 Marines remaining. And a tank that doesn't have siege mode. And yeah, Bomber's got to retreat back up his own ramp. And just be like, oh, hang on. Those guys have range. That's incredible. Meanwhile, Violet is expanding behind this. Fantastic job by him, keeping the pressure on and expanding behind it. Is siege mode on the way? It is. Siege mode is on the way, and I think he might have to wait for this before we can expand. Violet is taking it to the young bomber here. Once again, coming down this ramp, Marines just getting massacred, and 2 tanks without siege mode can't handle 3 Dragoons. Amazing, amazing stuff here out of Violet. All right, so Bomber is currently 31, according to Wikipedia. So that means in 2009, he was 21. He was a 21-year-old baby in the Brood War scene. That's fantastic. All right, so yeah, I think Violet just has more experience on him. He's kind of taking him to school right now. His expansion is going to finish here any second. And meanwhile, he's just teching up. He's got an observatory. He's making observers. Obviously, he's worried about spider mines, although none are in production right now. No vultures are in production, and no spider mine whatever coming up here either. Man, Dragoon's in perfect position to take down this command center as it's flying over here without being range of the tanks. Except for this one, which is annoying. Actually landing takes it out. Oh, is he going to jump on these tanks? Holy crap, he's going to try to jump on these tanks. He gets one of them. Pulls back, keeps the Dragoons alive. More Dragoons are here. Observer flies in, gets sniped by the missile turret. Did it? This one. Do they not get... Oh, they don't get credit for kills. I always forget. That's the difference between StarCraft 2 and Brood War. Is static defense doesn't get credit for kills. There's no kill count for cannons or sunkens or turrets or anything else. So that's annoying. So, delay. Man, major delay here on this command center. But, I don't know, not too bad. He's able to build the command center in the main base. It's saturated quite nicely fairly early here from Bomber 2. So, I think we're good. I think we're all right. Citadel of Adun is complete now for Violet. And he's going to follow up with the Templar Archives. Why not get, you know, Storm? It's going to be good. I mean, it's not going to be as good as it is versus Zerg, but against these tank counts, if you can storm them and bring them down to, you know, to lower HP counts and weaken them, then it allows the Zealots and Dragoons to do what they need to do. Third base coming up, being escorted by some Dragoons. Got ourselves a Rhinodon here. A little piggy, curly tail. Makes sense. I get it. I really do. Hey, look! Vultures are around. Remember when I was like, there aren't any vultures in production? Well, there weren't, but there are now, and they're here. Spider Mine's on the way. Being researched too. Dragoon's holding these 2 roads into his natural base. Beautiful stuff. And these Dragoons holding this road into the 3rd base. No vulture harassment is possible. Observer flying around. It does end up seeing the starport. I mean, I don't know what you're really scouting here necessarily. Double Goliath from Bomber. And there is a Stargate coming up back home for Violet too. What is going on? There's a shuttle. That makes sense. I'm on board with the shuttle. Unless it's a very fast carrier transition. Gateway, gateway, gateway. Not much of a tell there. I mean, if Bomber is just reading carriers out of this, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe he's just waiting for a shuttle to show up and he's going to shoot it down with these Goliaths. He's not getting Charon boosters. He's not making nothing but Goliaths. He's continuing to make the Vultures, which is good. At this stage, I mean, what else are we doing here? For Arbitral Tribunal. All right, so this is going to be Arbiters. I was, for a second there. Oh, for a second there, I was thinking, nice micro, actually. Ooh, hang on. Vultures get in. There's nothing saturating that, though. Oh, nice snipe on that Vulture as it drove away. Fantastic job by this Dragoon. 2 kills on it, 1 kill on its friend here, and so far, well defensed, I gotta say. Out of Violet. Again, exceptionally good Protoss player. Very sad shuttle here with 2 Dark Templar in him. Templar Archives is complete, as we mentioned, so DT attempt to get in here. I don't know, man. There's missile turrets, there's tanks. This dropship has, well, is he going to accidentally scout the shuttle? Yeah, look at this. Hey, guys. Hey, how's it going? Just going to work. He scouts it coming in. All right. Well, DTs have arrived. Scan, and everybody gets picked up and evacuated immediately because, holy crap, that was really scary stuff. Meanwhile, where'd the dropship go? Going this way now? You juked me out. You were on the right side of the map a second ago. You get back here. Get back here and show me where you're going. He's going to set up a tank. Let's see. Can you hit? I guess maybe dropping back here is a pretty good position and hard to dislodge. Yep, there we go. There goes the tank in siege mode. Vulture throwing down spider mines, yes? I don't know, man. Yep, throwing down spider mines to delay the Dragoon's ability to get back here and do anything. Allowing the siege mode, or siege tank time to unload and call it good. Meanwhile, shuttle's still sitting here. He's tried to unload some things, I feel like, but he's just not accomplishing much with this guy. And the longer he sits here, the more likely it is that this Goliath is going to see it and murder it. But yeah, Spider-Man's getting picked out of the ground by the Dragoons here. I don't really think... Yeah, there was an attempt to drop up here, but nothing doing, honestly. One Dragoon died, and I think that's about it. Vultures dropping here inside the main base. I'm kind of loving this out of Bomber. Like, dropping Vultures everywhere, getting Spider-Mines in places that Violet does not want them to be is kind of awesome. But not accomplishing a whole lot, I don't think. Terran dropship. Gonna maybe try to unload over here, but there are Dragoons down this back way now, and there's just nowhere to go. So Bomber is making some stuff happen. Trying to make stuff happen. Once again, DT's drop down here did not accomplish much. These guys have any kills at all? Yeah, 1 kill and 1 kill. Likely for those 2 DTs. So, yeah, drops on both sides of the map right now, which, I mean, I hear you guys. I miss stuff. I really do. Bomber just kind of walks into death right there, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I do want to point out that in the Brood War that you watch, there is a dedicated observer, and there are 2 casters watching the game at the same time. It's easier to catch everything in a game like this if you have 3 people dedicated to make sure you don't miss anything. I am by myself. I'm observing. I'm trying to watch the minimap. I'm trying to cast the action. I'm trying to look at the minimap and see what tech there is coming up and watch the production tab and analyze what both players are doing consistently here. So I'm doing my best. I appreciate the support you all give me. And I am trying to compensate for what should be a 3-person job doing it by myself. All right? All right. Whew. Cannons coming on in the 3rd base. Probably setting up for a 4th base attempt here on the right side. Violet, loving that. Really hard to hold this. There's a huge ramp coming into this base. But trying to do it anyway. Pushing up with Vultures and just run by. Run by time. Past those Dragoons. Dragoons holding. And yeah, that probe is dead. I'm not sure the probe knows it yet. But he does now because he's toast. Vulture's trying to sneak around. And again, this is a back way into the main base. So you have to react to the fact that there could be Vultures in your main after coming up this right side all of a sudden. Plus, there are observers everywhere, and those aren't drops. Those are just observers, man. Yeah, Vultures are just back here hanging out, throwing down Spider Mines. Can't get up that ramp because there are Dragoons covering it now. Good reaction time from Violet. They're dead, and I think they're probably aware of that, honestly. I mean, they're going to fight, but it's just... It's a futile effort, is what it is. I like that attack animation of Vultures attacking Dragoons who don't have shields. It's nice. Cannons defending against. That's a lot of Vultures, and a tank is here, but DT in defensive mode. Trying to snipe down the tank, and by golly, does get one of the tanks, which is nice. The other tank, however, still firing on probes here while getting shot at from the high ground by Dragoons. The Arbiter here, this is a complete wipe of this base. Goodbye, every single probe. Arbiter trying to save them through cloaking technology, but it's not enough. Only can save one of these dudes, and that is problematic. It's only 155 to 127 supply, where Violet is up, but some serious damage has been done to Violet's economy here by the Terran player, and that's what he needs to do. He needs time to get up his mech army, and so far so good, honestly. Got a lot of supply depots up here to mess with the pathing of Dragoons and Zealots that try to get up top of these tanks, which is beautiful stuff. Dragoons wandering on down again. Wandering because, well, they look like they're wandering with their legs sometimes. Staying just out of range of the Terran army. That hit, I think that Spider-Mine actually hit. Observer sniped by a missile turret there, but 4th base up and running for Violet. Still just on 3 bases is Bomber. It seems like he wants to expand along the left side now, which is nice, but more and more Arbiters on the way from our Protoss player. Terran working on Charon boosters to try to snipe those Arbiters. That do provide that permanent cloak for everything underneath, which is honestly pretty fantastic. And not much else can shoot up in the Terran army, so you need something mobile that can snipe Arbiters. And, you know, Goliaths are really good mobile anti-air in this game, as it turns out. No 4th base for you, say these Dragoons. 188 to 151 supply. I mean, this is kind of how you have to win PvT. I've talked about this more than once on the channel. If you want to beat somebody in PvT, expand a whole ton as Protoss. This is a recall. Check it out. Ready for this? Are you ready to rumble? Oh, hang on. Maybe not. Oh, recall finishes. Actually, EMP tossed down by the Science Vessel, though. Boy, does he drop right on top of these tanks and these Vultures. I'm not sure that's what he intended, but Would have gone a lot better for him, except for the EMP from that science vessel. So nice reaction time from Bomber, actually. And now Bomber is only down about 12 total supply, which is much better than he was previously. But yeah, good trade for him. Did lose a science vessel, but a ton of Dragoons went down. The Arbiter drop was, I would not call it a success, but it would have been, I think, except for the quick reaction time calling down that EMP. Kader and Korra on the way, giving Arbiters additional energy. Working on Hallucination, actually. Templar ability Hallucination. Have not seen that outside of a Team Fastest Map Ever game in a long time. I guess it is also used in some of the Battle for Helm's Deep games that I cast on YouTube here a couple times a week. I do cast your Brood War replays. Send them to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. Subject Brood War. Doesn't have to be pro stuff. But if you have access to pro replays, send them over to falconpaladin@gmail.com. Let me know. I would love to cast those. Two people, I guess, have done that in the past. Rasmus and Lazaros have done a great job. KD helping me out with some replays too. Responsible for a lot of this stuff, honestly, that you see on the channel on a day-to-day basis. Is it 4 Brood War casts every week on the channel? Jeez. Pretty good stuff. All right, Dragoons, and just going for it, man. All right. Is there anything helping other than just sheer A moving and the Arbiters providing that cloak? Good stasis on a couple of those units down below, I suppose. Defensive Matrix is up here, too. Trying to take down that tank, but no. Defensive Matrix keeping it alive. Zealot still hacking away at a missile turret. Nope, taking tank shots and vulture shots, and yeah. Violet in full retreat here. Zealot still trying to get on in, but yeah, when you have vultures with +2 attack and spider mines all over the place, not going to work out super well for you. So frontal assault, kind of down, it's like dense. The defenses here of the Terran player, but doesn't really do much otherwise. Right side base has been taken by Bomber. The first of these side bases to be taken, which are often hotly contested. There's one narrow ramp into each base each way. Might have to recall this army in here, man. You even want to is the question. I don't know. He's just coming up the ramp. All right, total scans happening here too. There is a DT sneaking around this backside. We're going to keep on a guy on that one. Good stasis there on those tanks. Still continuing to fire in right now. Exploding a tank, going after SCVs. More tanks and more vultures and more Goliaths are pouring in to defend this new base. The SCVs are just mining as normal. And yeah, he does drive off the invader. Bomber wins that battle there too. Again, a lot of stuff died from both players. Violet is still up. He's taking the base in the top right. Looks like he's trying to expand to the left side here too, and he is. So economically, he's going to be pretty fantastic. DT, which by the way, I love these guys. I love them in non-Carbot skin, and I love them in Carbot skin. They're just so determined. So determined in the Carbot version. Another Stargate coming up. This could be a carrier transition. Hey! Hallucinated Arbiter drop play. Again, have not seen this outside of a fastest map ever cast. I think ever on my channel. Oh, maybe not ever. I've seen Bisu do it sometimes, but now that I'm thinking about it, but it's been a while. That's all I'm trying to say here. So I'm going to try to sneak on in. The Arbiters are here to absorb, the Hallucinated Arbiters are here to absorb damage done by things like Goliaths and things like missile turrets, but are they wow, they got it! They got the right Arbiter. I guess he must have seen it coming and must have focused it down with the detection afforded him by the missile turret. Missile turret can tell what's hallucination and what isn't. But otherwise, without detection, you can't tell. Nicely done, by the way. Observer sight range on the way. Observers are set up in pretty strategic positions here. DT keeps checking back this way to see if there's any base he can maybe try to snipe as it's coming up, which is hilarious. Both players maxed out, and that means that Violet says it is time to go. Go, baby, go. Tacking on in. Again, just more of an A move here thing. No storm. I assume some stasises will go down eventually. Stasis on a couple of these tanks, but this is not working out. I don't like this from Violet. I want to see some storms. I want to see some recalls. I want to see some drops on these units. Just A moving into a tank line is not going to do it for you, especially if they're all sieged up. If you want to catch them when they're non sieged, yes, sure, let's do that. But when they're sieged up, A moving into that is just suicide. I understand you have the income to do this. Whoa, he didn't actually take this left side base. He just built a pylon up here. And cannons, and he's long distance mining. What an interesting choice from Violet. He's a good enough player. I'm not going to call this a mistake, but I don't understand it. So there's that. Vehicle plating on the way here from the Terran player. He is currently sitting at 3-2 with a 3 attack for his mech and 2 attack and nothing else from the Protoss for his ground units. He's working on a +3 attack. It'll be some time before it's here, though. Yeah, I don't know about this. I'm honestly a little bit worried for Violet. Think Bomber. Oh, fantastic EMPs on these Arbiters. Gets 2 of them for the price of 1. That Arbiter also gets EMP'd after tossing down a couple of his stasis, but that right side base is toast for Violet and just going for the other way here. Violet says, I can't handle this army. It's big and it's really scary. I'm going to just base race this sucker, try to get into his natural base and wipe that out if at all possible. But again, just kind of derping around, trying to find the most accurate attack paths to get in here. And you know what? This is what I'm talking about. Kind of attacking in here while the tanks aren't sieged up. But now they are sieged up, and now you need to go. Storm's on the way, but it's not done yet. Zealot's just moving into this. There are not many vultures, actually. Not many spider mines either. The tanks are getting actually obliterated by these Zealots, and bam! Major victory there for Violet, wiping out a huge section of Bomber's army. He's got a handful of tanks up there towards the north area, but there's almost nothing defending his natural base right now. But Violet doesn't seem interested in going down that way at all. He did go ahead and sack his right base. I must have evacuated his probes to this base back here. Can't imagine he just let those die for no reason. But again, Brood War is a game of who makes the fewest mistakes, and maybe there was a mistake there. Arbiter picked off by a single Charon boosted Goliath with that +3 attack, which again is 2 attacks of 20 damage each. Or is that just the 1? Why do I think it's 2? Anyway, it's pretty good anti-air regardless. Somebody in the comments will let me know. It's again kind of catching the tank army without being sieged here. Storm going down, obliterating some of his own Zealots a little bit. EMP on all of those Dragoons. Nice kiting on display here from Bomber, but his army is kind of slowly getting obliterated again. The Zealots are still here to tank a little bit. Zealots are actually, never mind, getting wiped out, and a lot of these Dragoons have been EMP'd, so good try here on the attack. Once again, making decent trades, though, I gotta say, is Violet, and that is a major way you gotta win a TVP. You can't be afraid to attack at all. You have to make trades. Another siege tank down. Zealots moving their way to victory here, focusing down tanks. It is very suddenly 162 to 128 overall supply. Zealots in this natural base, and I think, has Violet just done it? I don't know. These barracks are going down. Supply depot is getting massacred here, too. Bomber is not supply blocked by any stretch. Zealot's picking off a Goliath. Arbiter's sitting in range of a missile turret. Getting wiped out there, too. Again, Storm hitting that Zealot more than anything else, as Bomber's pretty good at dodging those suckers. That's an Archon. Archon's coming up at the bottom of the ramp, but going to be allowed enough time to get in there. I don't know. Look at Zealots just on top of Vultures not being kited. They're kind of incredible. Spider Mines. 4 Spider Mines to take down a Zealot is something I think Violet would be very comfortable with. Yeah, but this natural base is toast. The Archons are trying to murder it. Have we seen Archons in Carbot? Not very often, I don't think. Very cool stuff, though. Another Arbiter down. I mean, the Arbiter death count is pretty insane as the natural command center gets picked out of the sky by these Archons, who think about going up the ramp for a second, then decide, never mind, that it's not within their best interests, and head on home. Violet heading on over to try to wipe out this right side base of Bombers. There's only a couple tanks and a Goliath defending this. These Zealots, they don't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear about your basic defense here. And while Bomber technically has more supply, his income is being blasted right now. He just lost 2 bases. SCV is getting murdered by Archons as they run. 5 kills on that dude. He's going to die to this tank, though. And there he goes. But yeah, the right side base is in a heck of a lot of trouble. Some SCVs coming back on home. An attack into the front here gets EMP'd by Bomber's units, and Violet does flee. Archons made it back into this bottom left-hand corner base that Bomber finally took. They are wreaking havoc. 6 kills and 8 kills each on these dudes. And I just think Bomber's taken too much damage to his economy to win this game. I know he's still fighting. I know he still has 154 supply. I know he has a decent army here, but if Violet could just make a decent trade, he has wiped out all of the income, it feels like, for Bomber, other than this one base with 2 mineral patches. That's the third base of the Terran player. And yeah, man, I think Violet's got this thing. Bit of harassment on this left. Look at this. Violet set up at this should be the 4th base of Bomber. That's how mean this is. Bomber's going to take it down. There's no saving it at all. I mean, these Zealots are coming in, but look how fast they run when they have legs. Loving it. More Zealots coming on in. Defensive Matrix is up. That base, like I said, is just getting focused down by stuff here. But the flank attack and the right side attack, and bam, there's your good game. Bomber recognizes what's up. He taps out. He knows he doesn't have the income to compete here at all. And amazing, amazing stuff there from Violet. Again, taking this left side base was just the icing on the cake. And yeah, wiping out 2 bases with 1 push effectively. Losing 1, sure. But he actually did have the income that he needed to make this thing happen. Bottom left base wiped out by Archons to some extent. And yeah, while the supply is not that different, I mean, Bomber's just starving. Starving Marvin right now. This is his only source of income. It's only minerals. He needs gas to compete. And I'm not sure he would be allowed to get up a base, so he tapped out and called it a day. So that was a very nice game. You can see Bomber's talent for sure. Those EMP timings were, they were magnifique. Just the kiting he did with his vultures and his tanks. He was dodging storms. He was making good pushes. He did wipe out that base of Violets early in the stage, sniping down Arbiters. A ton of Arbiters died in this game. I don't have an official count. I feel like it's got to be at least 10, maybe 12, if not more. As literally there's 1 with the army right now. And it was double pumping Arbiters for most of the game. So maybe even more than 12, maybe 15 or 20, honestly. But yeah, Dragoons just a couple times attacking into just sieged up tank lines and not making very good trades, I didn't think. But in the end, was able to find some places where the tanks were not sieged, able to get the Zealots on top of them. I'm loving that Zealot run animation still right there. That's so good. Anyway, yeah, Carbot, loving it a lot. So good game there from Bomber, but Violet gets your win. Go ahead and hit that like button, by the way, if you haven't already. Helps me get visibility and gets more people you can talk to in the comments. All right, end of the game here. 210,000 points for Bomber, 216,000 points for Violet. Look at the difference. He's got a actually pink color. This is like pink rather than like pink, you know what I mean? Overall here, I mean, units killed is fairly similar and actually produced more. Our Terran player did too, but just more cost efficiency overall from the Protoss is how you want to win this game. Raising tons of Terran buildings, only losing 10. In the long run. And then, yeah, more gas mined, more minerals mined by about 6,000, and more spent by about 6,000 here, too, from Violet. So, again, out-expand the Terran player, try to get good trades, try to find tanks that are unsieged, storm a lot, stasis a lot, try to get some recalls in if you can, and you might get a win against somebody as good as Bomber is. All right, fantastic. Great play there by Violet, but that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and the Carbot skin. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all / Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.